Hello, girls.
Thomas.
So let's continue literature. Solitude of Self, the second read. We didn't finish it previous time. On page 142. 142, girls. I'll share my PowerPoint with you now. No, not this one. Here is it. You see my PowerPoint? Okay.
Yes.
We discussed what the point she uses through the way of using opposites. And we said that the opposite is stressed that everyone, no matter their economic status, intelligence, wisdom, or character, they should rely on themselves. We define soul. We answered all of these questions. We stopped at here, analogy. We stopped at the analogy, okay? Ghala, read ya Ghala, analogy.
Analogy, another rhetorical tool often used by writers, is analogy. An analogy is a complex comparison of two different things. An analogy can make complex or abstract concepts easier for the audience to understand. In the Solitude of Self, Stanton compares life to a journey or a voyage. To help you analyze Stanton's analogy, complete the table on the next page. Some answers have been filled in to help you get started. Add one or two of your field and
Of
to
your own
help you
examples? Yes. So here,
get started.
yes, example of journey language. How does this phrase relate to the concepts of a and why is it appropriate for her argument? In her speech, she mentioned Robinson Crusoe, and we said this is a novel written about a man who has been shipwrecked on an island for 28 years old and had to rely on his own wits to survive. Why is this appropriate for her argument? She compared them to a woman needs to be able to use all her wits and develop herself to her full potential if she is to survive alone. Like Robinson Crusoe, who survived alone on an island. To deny her access to education or the right to earn his living, to shipwreck her. A woman has to develop her potential in order to survive alone. So by not getting full education or high education, it is like she has been shipwrecked. Laws of navigation. She then mentioned laws of the navigation that women has to learn the laws of navigation. How does this phrase relate to the concept of a journey? Laws of navigation. How is it related to a journey, girls? Huh? Who can answer, please? What is laws of navigation? Navigation is when I know the ways. Yani I can go east, I can go west, I can navigate in the sea or in the sky. Why she used laws of navigation in her argument? Who can tell me?
Maybe she wants them to find the right place or something
Excellent.
like that.
Yes, yes. How is it related to a journey?
Because they're searching for the good, to respect women and stuff like that.
Yes, and of course, navigation is very important to travel, right? So read it, Yadima.
During a journey, one must know how to travel and get from one place to another.
Yes. So how is it related for women? in order to know how to travel and this? How women do they want to know how to travel?
Yes,
Or
on their own.
Care of themselves.
so is it the literal meaning of traveling?
No,
No.
about journey of their lives, yeah.
Yes, yes, of their lives. Lead it, ya Linda.
Miss, the answers are
Women
in the presentation, right? You will upload it.
Yes, yes, of course. I upload everything.
women need to know how to survive or they will be lost at sea.
Yes. Okay, now you understand how the question works, girls. Here, guide our own craft. Example of journey language, because she used traveling and a journey to strengthen her argument. Guide our own craft. Who will guide your own craft? Craft is like a plane or any way of traveling or How is it related to a journey?
You should guide
How?
your own journey.
Yes, in a journey, يعني if we are in a journey, who guides our own craft?
The guide.
Ourselves.
The guide or the captain, right?
Yes.
ريتي عهد.
Um, a captain or pilot generally guides crafts on water.
طب how guiding our own craft is it, or a captain who guides us or guides our journey, how is it related or strengthen the argument?
It shows that women can't be free and they're always manipulated.
Yes, and they have to learn how to do what?
To take care
How
of
to
them.
guide their own journey.
Yes, how to guide their own way or how to guide themselves through their life. Okay, read it يا غلا.
Focus on understanding
No,
rhetoric.
not all of this. Not all of this, only this part.
Okay. Women must be in charge of and understand how to shape their own
Destinies, or they
destinies,
will
or
be.
they will be at the mercy of the wind and waves.
Excellent, thank you. Chart and compass. How chart and compass are important for a journey, girls?
They tell us the way.
They guide us the way. They show us the way. Read it, Yatia.
Charts and compasses are necessary to navigate and know where one is during a journey.
Yes, how is it, Yatia? Charts and compasses are necessary to navigate and know the way. How is it related to women? How women need charts and compasses?
Yani they need help in their life.
They need to determine their way.
Yeah.
They need to learn how to determine or how to choose which way to walk. Read it, Yatia.
Women need the same skills and judgment to survive the storms of life as men, and if they are denied the same opportunity for development as men, they will be adrift at sea without navigational tools to guide them.
So the charts and compasses are necessary to navigate. How is it applied to women? That women need that skill in order to determine how to walk, how to move, which choice to take. This is the second read, girls. By this, we finished the second read. You have the homework. You evaluate Stanton's rhetorical techniques, including her use of logic and analogy. Analogy is what we've said now. She compared here Robinson Crusoe trip, shipwrecked, to the woman's need. How? Mentioning laws of navigation to journey. Laws of navigation to journey is like women need to know how to survive. Guide our own craft to journey is like women need to be in charge for her own destiny. Chart and compass to journey يعني I am comparing two things, chart and compass to journey, like what is like women needs to same skills and judgment. This to this is like this to this. This is analogy. When I compare this to this and this to this, the sun to the sky is like my love to you. The moon to the sky is like my love to you. I compare two things and two things. Okay, so then we move to third read. We were just finishing second read. We move to the third read. Third read. It's Ain't I a Woman? Where is it? Here is it.
Miss, can I read?
Yes, dear, you can. I will.
Miss, can I go to the bathroom? إذا إجت ونادتني أحكوا لها إني بالحمام.
Sorry, girls. It refuses to be shared. طب listen. I'll try to make you listen to it. You have your book, girls, page 144. Page 144.
Yes. Miss, try to leave and re-enter again.
I left. I can't even share. You see a YouTube, girls?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. This is. So let's hear it and then we continue. No, I don't want this. Here is it. Open page 144, girls. 144.
The black abolitionist and former slave Sojourner Truth spoke to a gathering of feminists in Akron, Ohio. The spontaneous speech, only a few minutes long, was a landmark moment in feminist and abolitionist history.
Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Negroes of the South and the women at the North all talking about rights, the white man gonna be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arm. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as any man when I could get it. And I could bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children, seen most sold off into slavery. And when I cried out with a mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? And they talk about this thing in the head. what is it they call it? Oh, that's right, yeah, intellect. That's it, honey. Well, what's that got to do with women's rights and Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? That man in the back there, he says women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Well, where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? He came from God and a woman. Man didn't have nothing to do with it. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, well, these women here together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And they asking to do it. The men better let them.
You followed her, girls? Oh.
Yes.
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 What do you think of the presentation? Of the speech, I mean.
It was nice.
What does she want to say?
That about women. That شو اسمه إنه how they يعني think and the men that we only يعني are for like giving birth and sitting like that.
Yes.
And how
that
she's
women are
a
strong.
Negro woman, so how she had also children, but they all were taken for slavery and like that. And about
women, yes.
yeah, entire woman, and that the last no, that woman can change the world, yani, can
Yes.
turn it up.
I'll try to leave and enter. Here is it. Here is the PowerPoint. So, girls, do you see my PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, girls. What we've just heard was a speech given by Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth. Who's Sojourner Truth? Ain't I a Woman is a speech delivered by Sojourner Truth in 1797, 1883. She was born into slavery. She was a slave. Sometimes after gaining her freedom in 1827, she became a well-known anti-slavery speaker. Sojourner Truth, an American abolitionist and women's rights activist. So she started to, after she was freed, she started to ask for women's rights. Okay, Leah, are you here, Leah? Lujain, read ya, Lujain.
Okay. About the author. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, dear.
Sojourner Truth was born into slavery in 1797 as Isabella Baumfree. She later changed her name to Sojourner Truth and would become one of the most powerful advocates for human rights in the 19th century. Her early childhood was spent on a New York estate owned by a Dutch American named Colonel Johannes Hardenberg. Like other being sold and was
بس أنا أحد طلعني.
mistreated. In 18 failed to honor his promise to uphold the New York anti-slavery law
of 1827. Thank you, Lujain, because your mic is lagging, dear. Mariam, continue. Isabella ran away.
A religious Isabella became
Mariam Muhammad. Continue
Yes.
from
Can
Isabella.
you hear me?
Yes, Lujain, your voice lags, dear.
Yes, teacher,
Okay.
at which line? I got lost 1 minute.
After 1827.
Yes, here it is. In 1827, after her master failed to honor his promise to free her or to uphold the New York anti-slavery law of 1827, Isabella ran away, or as she later informed her master, I did not run away, I walked away by daylight.
Teacher,
After
someone
experiencing...
I literally entered thousands of times. Can you make attendees?
Make girls, يعني we are wasting time. Help me and make each other attendee.
بس
Quickly.
طلعوني أنا مرتين.
Are you playing? يعني is this time? Grade 11.
بس أنا طلعوني مرتين.
Okay, quickly make attendee. Make each other attendee quickly.
Teacher, you have a button to turn يعني إنك تخلي كل
يلا
الناس.
quickly.
Miss, you have a button to make us all in 1 second.
Yeah.
And the permissions, just write no one and no one can let us know.
Miss, go to the website you entered from to the call, and then you will find like the button.
Miss, just press the 3 dots and then.
Okay, I did it there. Okay, we are there. Mariam, read from Isabella ran away. So girls,
Yes.
remember when Frederick Douglass said that your work has not finished yet because people are not so ready to
طلعتيني 3 مرات. خلاص يا حبيبتي أنت إيش فيه؟
Dear, who's talking like that?
مس أنا شام مس طلعوني 3 مرات خلاص يعني.
Calm down, Yasham. I'm still in the class, dear. Okay, I made everyone so. Calm down, dear.
Yes, I read.
Yes, remember when we said Frederick Douglass said that your mission is not finished because the people are not ready in deep of their hearts to admit to the laws of stopping slavery. So this man hasn't, her master hasn't stick to the promise of, her master failed to honor his promise to free her. Okay, so she escaped, she ran away. Continue, Mariam.
Yes, Isabella ran away, or as she later informed her master, I did not run away, I walked away by daylight. After experiencing a religious conversion, Isabella became an itinerant preacher and in 1843 changed her name to Sojourner Truth. During this period, she became involved in growing anti-slavery movement, and by the 1850s, she was involved in the women's rights movement as well. She continued to speak out for the rights of African Americans and women during and after Civil War. Sojourner Truth died in Battle Creek, Michigan, in 1883.
Okay. So we've just heard the conversation, the speech, girls, by Sojourner Truth. Okay, we want to discuss it. Okay, what difficulties has Truth experienced in her lifetime? Can you give me the answers, girls?
Being a slave.
She has been a slave. She was born as a slave. And what else?
She was
losing all her children.
Yes, she lost all her children. Huh?
Her master did not free her until
Her master did not. Yes, he failed to honor the promise of freeing her. Yes. So Sham Aqil, Sham, the difficulties that she has experienced in her life. Are you with us, Sham? What?
Yes, miss.
يا وعد.
She was born into slavery, experienced beating, labored, and
labored is so much work.
And so most of her children born and sold into slavery. She
lost all her children. Can you imagine? They are sold into being slaves.
She has not been pampered or protected like some women into the listening
audience. She has not been pampered like taken care of. So these are the difficulties she faced in her life. What does sojourner mean? Why did Isabella Baumfree become sojourner truth? What does she mean at the beginning?
What does her name mean?
Yes. Can you tell me? You can Google it while we talk now, girls. What does sojourner mean?
It means a person who resides temporarily in a place.
Yes, why?
Why?
Uh-huh. She
Oh,
travels.
oh yeah.
Uh, sojourner truth. How truth is related to travel?
She's an abolitionist. I don't know.
Yes, abolitionist, yes, but sojourner truth. How truth is related to travel?
Maybe because it
Mm,
will be a long journey
Yes, a long journey for what?
for women to
for her
take
rights.
the right.
For their rights and freedom.
Yes, for rights and freedom and what?
And to say the truth in her journey.
Yes,
But
she
to
is
take the right.
seeking the truth in her journey.
Yes.
Okay?
Miss Tab,
She
what
is
do you think, Miss,
of what, dear?
of like women,
Huh,
like women and men? What are their taxes and
tax.
taxes and like that? Do you think that يعني that that's correct? That's correct, صح?
I'll tell you what, Yehuda. I believe that women have rights. Of course, we have rights. We are individuals. We have right to vote. We are citizens. But the problem is the idea of being independent has gone into, in my opinion, I'm not saying that for all others' opinion. I feel like the opinion of being independent has taken an extreme side, because I feel like we are different in nature than men. They can handle hard work. We can handle housework. Okay, يعني a man can think of multiple tasks. يعني he cannot feed the baby in the same time of cooking, in the same time of talking to his mother and discussing work. يعني he cannot, his mind doesn't, because in even in psychology and this, they say that the mind of the man is divided into two boxes. He is at work, he is in the box of work, then he closes it, and then he goes to home box, then friends box. Yani he cannot think of multiple tasks. Otherwise, women can think of multiple tasks. Okay, so she can study with her brother, son, and in the same time the food is on the oven, and in the same time she talks with her sister. So I feel, this is my opinion, that women are يعني the home needs the mother. A mother who goes out and she يعني dedicates all her life for work, she loses her يعني loses her feminism, as we can say, the feminine part of her life. Yani she'll eventually turn to be a man, and you are not asked to be a man. You are asked to be independent in case of any emergencies. Yani you are asked to finish your high education, to go to your faculty, to get all the chances to have work. But the main thing in your life is not going to be your work. Yani work is a major in your life, is a part of your life. In case anything's happen, God forbid, you can feed yourself and feed your children, but this is not the basic role of you as a female. This is my opinion. Others might think, no, you have to work, this is number one for you. I respect all opinions, but from my experience, job was always number two in my whole life. Yeah, I have a home, children, a husband, a family, and then comes the job provides me money. It provides me contacting with you, and I love contacting with the children, with the students. I mean, it gives me life. Okay, but it is not life. You understand me?
Yeah.
That's it.
Miss, but
So yes,
women like nowadays, I mean, it's different than back in the day, but like I feel like women can still be independent and go to or do work and all of that, but at the same time, they can still embody their feminine energy
yes,
instead of like making it, having it take over their whole life. Like, and they
yes,
can still balance both things.
yes. This is it. The problem is nowadays they are extreme. They and girls, and in the beginning of their lives, they get indulged into work. They forget themselves into work. I work. I go out with my friends. This is the life I want. And then years pass by. Okay, I'm not encouraging that you get married in an early age. No, after you finish college, you feel settled down, and then you get married, because this was the original, the main reason for women to be on earth. Okay, yani Allah
But
created
Miss,
woman He created Eve for Adam. I'm not saying that we
yeah,
are
that's
less.
true.
I'm not saying by any way meaning that we are less, but at the opposite, we are better in many other ways. Okay, but I mean that we have a job, we have a mission. Let's not forget this mission while we indulge into work field and independency field. That's what I want to say. Yes, dear.
Miss, you can still get married and still work, and both of you can balance the
I, I,
work.
I am married and I work.
I know, but no, you can still be independent while you're married, while with your someone else.
Financially, you mean about financially independent?
Financially, you can split it between both of you guys. You can balance it out between both of you guys.
What do you mean by balancing?
You know, into when, for example, you get married, and when you make your money doesn't just go to him, and his money, when he makes it, he doesn't just take it and not give it to you. Like, you guys have to find a way to, so both of you guys can use both
Yes.
incomes to
First of
your.
all, the women's salaries are incomparable to men's salaries in all the countries. Men's salaries are higher, okay? And the man's job is to afford his family, not woman's job. If you will might help with your salary or buy a present, or you want to buy, at least buy stuff for yourself, for your family, for, but in order to, you mean that both of you share for the house suspense?
Yeah, but Miss, I don't like
Not
you're
suspense
saying.
expenses.
No,
Yeah.
Miss, you're saying that شو اسمه, that women just have to help their husband with their money, but consider,
No,
for example,
I'm not saying
uh,
that they have to help their husbands by their money at
not
all.
help, but do something they love, like and
Yes,
buy their own things.
yani you work for your own sake, you spend for your own sake. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. But for example, if you're married, and let's say, for example, you decided to both get a divorce, and you were living because like you were living on your husband's money when you guys were married, when you and your parents cannot just afford, no, you're older now, you need more things to do, your parents can't really afford
Of
everything
course,
if you
yes.
go to live with them.
So this is the
So
time that you use your majors, you use your work, and you use your money to support yourself.
that's true, but is that you use it when you get divorced, you're not gonna your salary is not gonna be as big as when you started, when you first graduated from college. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, if you work on it when you were younger, and then when you're married, you get the same income, your salary is going to be higher. But if
Of
you get
course, yes, yes.
divorced, and then you work directly when you get divorced, you're not going to make as much money as you would make if you started earlier.
Of course, and even you will not reach a good position if you don't
Yeah,
start early. And that's why I encourage you. Yes, after college, you have to find work, a good job. Find a good job for you, because you don't know what happens tomorrow. I'm not talking about only divorce. Allah forbids, what happens if he dies? Who will
yeah,
support you financially? No one.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, of course. Yes, dear. That's what you are correct. You have to find a job. You to and job strengthen your personality. It helps you to be up with the world, and you can raise your children up to the world too. You're not in a house, and you're locked down in a house, and do not treat with other world, and you do not see the new world, a new generation like you. When for example, for my case, when I contact with the new generation, which is you, I can deal with my son and daughter, understand the mentality of your.
Yes.
Okay, I can understand new. يعني I'm up to the word. يعني I do my best to be up to the word so I can deal with my family too. So this is good.
Yes.
Yes, Jill.
بس هلا بريك خلص الحصة.
Really? Okay, girls. We continue next time. يلا, I had a nice time today. We had breakfast together. We had discussions together. Okay, what will we do on Sunday?
Tea.
Miss, we don't
بس
have
عندي
it
فكرة
tomorrow.
بس عندي فكرة بنشغل أغاني وبنرقص بنعمل رياضة.
Okay, I
We have
agree
a
with this,
period
Yamaya.
tomorrow, by the way.
Tomorrow we have,
Yeah, we have. You can.
Yeah.
but tomorrow we can take tea. Tomorrow we can take tea. Sunday we dance.
Okay.
Okay?
That's
لا.
Tomorrow is tea.
Okay.
Miss, what about the people who don't drink tea?
Drink coffee.
What a coffee.
Water. Water is always a good solution. Yalla.
Make a
See you tomorrow.
smoothie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.